Hi, here today to talk to you about Google Classroom and how to set up classes. So, first thing is you want to go to classroom.google.com in your address bar. And when you get there, it may look a little different, but you need to make sure you're logged in to your school account. So, notice mine is already logged in. So, after you've done all those steps, the first thing to creating a class is hitting the plus sign. Once you do that, you will click Create Class. You can name your class whatever it is you would like. So let's make a practice class. Section, I look at that like class period and subject. Okay, once you've got everything in there you need, which you can also leave section and subject blank if you feel like it. So click create. After you have created it, will open that class right up. So if you want to go back to your classes, these three lines in the top left will take you back to your class dashboard. To get into a class, you will just hover over it and click. Otherwise, tab these three dots. Notice you get an edit function if you need to edit anything about the name of your class, and archive. Archive allows you to hide your courses. So if that semester you decided you would like to make a new class for that section, I would suggest archiving. So let's go into our practice class. So things to know once you have your Google Classroom set up is the components. So main page is the stream. That's where all your announcements, assignments, anything you post to the students will show up. Your middle tab is students. This is where you'll get the class code for students to join. And you can also add guardians. They have recently done an update as of December of 2016 to allow anyone to be added as a guardian, even if they don't have a Google account. So that is a nice factor. The guardians can get weekly or daily updates. It's totally up to them when they accept your invitation. And they will be able to see what kids have coming up as far as what is due. Did their students do their work on time? And were things turned in late? That is about the extent of what they can see. So they can at least help their kids stay on track. So over here is an important option. You can allow students to post and comment in your class. You can allow them to only comment, or it can only be you. I would suggest leaving it on students can only comment. That way, if they do have a question about an assignment, they can comment on that. You do have the option to mute students if they post or comment something inappropriately. I would, however, treat that as a digital citizenship time and have a little conversation with them and let them know. And if they can't keep their comments appropriate or related to what it is, then I would mute them. But for me, I would leave that as can only comment. About. This is just a place where if you drop things, you'll notice in your Google Drive, you'll have a classroom folder. And let me go ahead and open my Google Drive so you can see. So when I go to my Google Drive, you will automatically get this classroom folder. Anything you put in the About section, it will show up in this folder, or anything you drop into that folder. So they will have access to those files. I would post things here that you want them to always have access to throughout the semester. Also notice it says open in Google Calendar. So anything you post with an actual date will appear in the student's calendar. So that is nice as far as reminders and things. That anything you post, as long as if you're putting dates on it, the students will also get those things added to their Google Calendar. So let's go back to stream. Oh, other one thing before I leave. So over here, you can invite other teachers. So if you would like to add someone else to help you manage or just to have access in case there was an emergency that could also have access to your class. So let's go back to stream. So a few things to note and what you might want to know about stream. This plus button on the bottom right, that is where you do everything you want to do with your class. Top one is reuse post. I would reuse the post if, for instance, you might have made a mistake when scheduling an assignment and not making a copy for each kid, reuse the post. Or if you know it's an announcement that you're going to make again. Create question. Question feature allows you to do live multiple choice or for a discussion post like a Blackboard. Create assignment. Let's talk about create assignment. Up at the top 4, notice I can post in any class I have all at the same time. Write your title, your instructions. The due dates you put here will show up in the kids' Google Calendar. You can add links. You can add a file from your Google Drive. You can add a video from YouTube. And you can attach things. Once you've done all of these, you will click Assign. Let's go ahead and put Test. And notice I get options. I can schedule things out. So maybe I want to go ahead and get everything ready together to make assignments and schedule out when I want them to post. This is nice so that you don't have to think about, oh, Monday morning I have to log in and do all this. It will just automatically go out on the time you set it, which is nice. So let's tap schedule. So I could post something tomorrow at 8 a.m. So that is a nice feature. And you can save things as a draft. So if you are one that likes to manually post, but you want to go ahead and create it, you can save them as a draft. Let's go ahead and attach something for my Google Drive so that we can talk about permissions. So I have a test slide document. So notice you get options when you attach things that students can view the file, they can edit the file, or make a copy for each student. One thing to note when making assignments is view is just that. The student can open it. Now they can make a copy and then edit it, but they can just open it. Students can edit the file. This I would not allow unless you want multiple students in the same document working. So keep in mind on that. I would go ahead and click make a copy for each student. That way, when your students open it, it's their assignment already and they can go ahead and edit it and submit it right back to you. So after you do that, let's click assign. Notice after I've signed, it's showing up in my stream. So one other thing to note is over here on the left, topics. As the course goes, you can think about topics that you might want to relate to assignments. It just makes it easier to sort and for the student to find things. So on their iPad, they can filter out assignments by topic. You can choose to show or not show deleted items. Let's go ahead and look at this assignment. Look at the 3 dots in the top right. So you do have the options to delete the assignment, edit, and copy. Editing, let's pull that up. If you forgot to make a copy for each student, you cannot change that here. It will only allow you to keep it as view or edit. So that is where if you make an error, you want to do the reuse post and just that way you don't have to retype. And then you can change your permissions and then go back and delete the messed up post. So other things just to note, you can upload different background photos and you can select different themes. So if you want to correlate something to a specific class, you can do that. That is about all I have to get you started on Google Classroom and the inner workings of how it works in the latest updates. Please feel free to ask if you have any other questions. Thanks. You all have a great holiday. Bye.